Who are your guitar heroes? I'm talking about real guitar heroes, men who changed the face of music forever with 6 strings and an amplifier. It's the pioneers, the ones who showed us what the guitar could be capable of, and inspired countless musicians to pick up the instrument and learn it. In this video, I will talk about those guys who are the real guitar heroes. These are the men who have made the guitar what it is today, whose innovations and talent have made them immortal. We're going to go back in time to the 1960s, an era when everything changed. This is when the guitar went from being just another instrument to becoming the most popular one in the world. There were many talented guitar players back then, but only a few truly stand out, and these are the ones that we're going to talk about today. So let's get started and see which are these guitar players that inspired generations of musicians and changed the face of music forever. One of the reasons why people still love the sound of the 1960s is because of the unique tone that was produced by the guitarists of that era. This was due in part to the equipment they used, much of which has become very popular among collectors over the years. This includes guitars like the Fender Stratocaster and Telecaster, Gibson Les Paul, and SG, Rickenbacker 330 and 360, Gretsch White Falcon and Chet Atkins, solid bodies, amplifiers like the Fender Twin Reverb, X-Reverb and Princeton, Marshall amps and Vox AC30. But why do people still want the same equipment that was used in the 60s? Well, first off, these instruments and amps were made with a different kind of craftsmanship that is hard to find today. Many of them were hand-wired and built with higher quality components than what you would find in modern-day products. But besides that, something else contributed for people wanting those amps and guitars. Some said it was because they wanted to get closer to the tone of their favorite guitarists. But in fact, that was not possible, even with the same gear. Why? Because every guitarist had a unique tone. Even if you got the exact same guitar and amp that Hendrix used, you would never sound like him. And this is because each guitarist had their own style and technique. They pushed the boundaries of the instrument and created new sounds that would have never been possible with someone else playing the same guitar. So basically, if you want to get close to the tone of any of these guitarists, you would need to buy the same gear they used, but more importantly, learn to play like them. When we think about the guitar heroes of the 60s, one name always comes to mind first: Jimi Hendrix. He was born in Seattle in 1942 and died tragically young in 1970, but in the short time he was here, he changed everything. Hendrix was a pioneer of rock guitar, known for his innovative and experimental style that pushed the boundaries of what was possible on the instrument. He experimented with feedback, distortion, and other effects to create new sounds and textures. He was also a master of the guitar solo, and his improvisational skills were unparalleled. His most famous guitar was the Fender Stratocaster, which he nicknamed the White Falcon or Red Wine. Hendrix played a left-handed Strat, but since they did not make them back then, he would get right-handed models and turn them around. He had several of them throughout his career. The one that really stands out is the 1968 Monterey Pop Festival Strat. That guitar is now worth over $1 million. But Hendrix didn't stick to just one guitar. He also played a Gibson Flying V and a Danelectro 59. When it comes to amps, he would use either a 1965 or a 1967 Marshall Plexi Super LED, a 1966 Vox AC30, and a 1966 Fender Twin Reverb. The next guy on our list is Eric Clapton. Born in 1945 in Surrey, England, Clapton is one of the most influential guitarists of all time. Known for his distinctive voice and blues-based style, he was a member of several legendary bands, including the Yardbirds, Cream, and Blind Faith. In his early days, Clapton played a 1956 Gibson Ease 335 and a 1953 Fender Esquire, but later switched to a 1964 Fender Stratocaster, which he nicknamed No. 1. He used a variety of amplifiers throughout his career, but his preferred choice was the Marshall Plexi. He has played many guitars since then, but none have matched the tone and feel of his beloved Strat and Plexi. If you want to learn more about Eric Clapton and his gear, I've already made a video about it, so check it out. Next we have Jimmy Page. Born in 1944 in England, Page is best known as the lead guitarist and songwriter of Led Zeppelin. He was a major influence on the development of hard rock and heavy metal music. Page's guitar work was characterized by its heavy distortion, use of the violin bow, and innovative use of open tunings. He was also a skilled acoustic guitarist, and his finger-picking style was evident on many Zeppelin tracks. He played a variety of guitars throughout his career, but his main axe was a 1953 Gibson Les Paul. He used a variety of amplifiers, but his preferred choice was the Marshall Stack. Page's innovative and groundbreaking guitar work helped to define the sound of hard rock and heavy metal music and continues to inspire guitarists today. Let's talk about Jeff Beck. Born in 1944 in London, England, Beck is considered one of the most technically proficient guitarists of all time. He was a member of the Yardbirds and later formed the Jeff Beck Group. His guitar work was characterized by his use of the guitar, its fretboard, and his ability to create innovative and experimental sounds. He was a master of the guitar solo, and his improvisational skills were unparalleled. Beck has played a variety of guitars throughout his career, but his main axe was a 1960s Fender Stratocaster. And we cannot forget about Pete Townshend. Born in 1945 in London, England, Townshend is best known as the guitarist and songwriter for The Who. His guitar work was characterized by his use of feedback and distortion, and his ability to create powerful and anthemic rock songs. He was a master of the guitar riff, and his chord power chords helped to define the sound of 1960s rock. Townshend mainly played a 1964 Rickenbacker 325 and 1965 Rickenbacker 360 12-string. He also played a Fender Telecaster and various Gibson guitars. He used a variety of amplifiers, but his preferred choice was the Vox AC30. Townshend's innovative and groundbreaking guitar work helped to define the sound of 1960s rock music and continues to inspire guitarists today. There are many other guitarists who could have made it on this list, such as Brian May, Keith Richards, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Guy, but we can't mention all of them here. However, I have already made videos about Brian May and Keith Richards and their gear, so check them out. These guitarists were true innovators, pushed the boundaries of what was possible on the instrument, and they helped to change the face of music forever. Their contributions will never be forgotten, and they will continue to inspire generations of musicians to come. They were the real guitar heroes. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'll see you next time.